Welcome back to Election Zone. Today we're breaking down where things really stand in American politics, using the RealClearPolitics polling averages. We're going to look at two key numbers, presidential approval, and the generic congressional ballot. Together, they give us one of the clearest snapshots of the political climate right now. Let's start with the presidential approval chart. RealClearPolitics tracks how presidents fare in their second terms. On August 17, the numbers are as follows. Donald Trump's approval rating is 45.5%. Barack Obama, at the same point in his second term, stood at 44.5%. And George W. Bush was even lower, at 43.3%. So Trump is slightly ahead of Obama, and noticeably ahead of Bush, at this stage of their presidencies. But what matters more is the trend. Trump began this year closer to 48%, but has gradually slipped down into the mid-40s. That leaves him with a net disapproval of about 6 points. Obama followed a very similar path in 2013, starting close to 49% and sliding into the mid-40s as controversies like the IRS scandal and the government shutdown piled up. Bush's second term tells the harsher story. He entered around 48% but fell quickly after Hurricane Katrina and the deepening Iraq War, eventually sinking well into the low 40s and never recovering. The bigger lesson here is that second terms are brutal. Presidents usually start just under 50% and then lose ground fast. The public grows tired, the controversies stack up, and the approval ratings slide. Right now, Trump is above Bush and just a hair above Obama at this stage. That doesn't mean he's in a strong position, but historically he's not the weakest either. Now, let's switch gears to Congress. The generic congressional ballot asks voters if they would vote for the Democrat or the Republican if the election were held today. As of August 17, Democrats sit at 45.8%, Republicans are at 42.2%, giving Democrats a 3.6% lead. To understand what that means, the best comparison is 2018, the midterm of Trump's first term. Back then, Democrats built up a consistent advantage of 6 to 7 points on the generic ballot. By election day, that margin translated into a wave election where Democrats flipped control of the House of Representatives. Today's 3.5-point lead isn't as large as in 2018, but it's pointing in the same direction. It suggests Democrats have a national advantage right now, not at wave levels, but stronger than what we saw in the last two elections. For more context, in 2020, Democrats had nearly a 7-point lead nationally. In 2022, their edge was smaller at about 2.5 points. And in 2024, the race was essentially tied, with Republicans even holding a slight advantage. Compared to those years, today's number is better for Democrats than 22 and 24, though still short of what they had in 2018 and 2020. So the bottom line is this: Democrats are in a better position than they were in the last two elections, but they're not at the strength they showed in Trump's first midterm. That makes 2018 the clearest historical parallel, and it shows that while the advantage is real, it's not yet a guarantee of sweeping change. Taken together, here's where things really stand. Trump's approval rating is mediocre, but not historically terrible, and Democrats have a modest but real advantage on the congressional ballot. Neither side is in dominant shape right now, but Democrats do have a small edge heading into 2026. We'll keep tracking these numbers, because together they give one of the clearest pictures of the political climate as it develops.